name is Aimee Shelton, as most of you know, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about thyroid disease. It's estimated that there's between 16 and 32 million undiagnosed cases of thyroid disease in America. There's millions upon millions of people right now that are living with the disease, whether it's underactive or overactive. And just a little bit of the anatomy about the thyroid. It's a butterfly or bow-shaped gland in front of the trachea on your throat, and it is like the master gland for metabolism. It's involved in, things like your temperature, how fast you burn calories. It helps to convert what you take into energy. And there's three main reasons for dysfunction of the thyroid. It can be genetic. It can be from previous, father, mother, grandparents, things like that. Stress can be one reason that the thyroid becomes either overactive or underactive. If the thyroid is overactive, it's called hyperthyroidism. And usually it's precipitated by what's called Graves' disease, which is actually an autoimmune disorder where your body is attacking their own thyroid production. And in response, the body increases the thyroid production. And symptoms of that can be weight loss, the heart rate speeds up, anxiety, just trembling, sensitivity to heat. You feel hot all the time, among a myriad of other symptoms. And if the thyroid is underactive, it's called hypothyroidism. And what usually precipitates that is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is also the same thing, but it works in reverse as Graves' disease does. It's an autoimmune disease also, where your body attacks itself, and in result, the body is basically attacking the thyroid gland itself. It's shutting down, and over time, if you have it long enough undiagnosed, it just basically kills your thyroid off. If you have hyperthyroid disease, like in the case of my father, who was diagnosed at 20 years old, he went from one weight and lost 60 pounds in less than 2 months. And when they finally got him into the doctor on the assistance of my grandmother, he was at stroke level. They said at any time he could just drop dead because his thyroid was so overactive. And one of the main treatments for that is radioactive iodine. You just drink it, it's a radioactive isotope, and it kills off the thyroid. And from then on, it can normalize the thyroid, but most likely from then on you have to have a replacement hormone because it's taking it from being way overactive, and usually it brings it underactive, which is what has happened to him. And he's been on thyroid replacement for 37 years. So, and we were just very lucky that it didn't kill him. So I was actually diagnosed. It's in my family. My grandmother has it. My father has it. Several uncles and aunts, several cousins, all on my father's side of the family. I actually went to Christmas one year when I was 7, and my grandmother, like most Texas grandmas do, they hug your neck really hard. And I said, "Ow, that hurts. When you hug me, it hurts really." And so my grandmother was concerned, said something to my parents, and they took me in, and we had a referral to Texas Children's Hospital. And there they did scans, they did ultrasounds of my thyroid, and found out that actually at the time I had Graves' disease, which later on turned to Hashimoto's. And over a period of time, I've been treated since I was 7 for this. I basically have no thyroid left. And I'm on one of the highest doses of one of the medications for hypothyroid that you can be on. There are different types of situations with the thyroid that can cause, it to be dysfunctioning. You can have the hyper, which is overactive, the hypo, which is underactive. You can develop nodules or cysts on your thyroid, which can be non-cancerous or they can be cancerous. And if they are cancerous, they require surgery. Non-cancerous can just require monitoring, and it can also spur you on to have, where you didn't have before, just with the formation of the cysts or tumors, you can have hyper or hypo, and then end up still having to have surgery. There are a lot of treatments available with thyroid disease. When you have underactive thyroid, they usually put you on Synthroid or levothyroxine replacement hormone therapy. If you're overactive, like I said before, they usually use the radioactive iodine. There's also a few different over-the-counter prescription medications that help to suppress it and bring it down within normal limits. A radioactive symbol. Temperature intolerances are normal with hyper or hypothyroidism. If you have it overactive, you're going to be really sensitive to heat, like I said before. With hypo, you're going to have weight gain. You're going to be really sensitive to cold rather than heat. You're going to be very fuzzy-headed. A lot of people complain of mental clarity, problems with mental clarity, a lot of insomnia, different things like that. There's just a list that goes on forever of problems that you're going to have with your thyroid dysfunction because it controls so many other systems in your body, or it contributes to them. Celebrities like Deborah Duncan and Faith Ford, Kelly Osbourne, Oprah Winfrey are among just hundreds when I looked up on the website, celebrities that are living with either overactive or underactive thyroid. It's been, well publicized, the weight problem that Oprah Winfrey has had in the past, and she didn't realize it for a very long time that it's due to her thyroid. And it controls, how much energy you have. Some days you feel like you cannot get out of bed when it's underactive, and whereas if it was overactive, you may just be nonstop, never able to sleep, never able to really focus. You're just all over the place. And that's how I was when I was a child. I was, kind of hyperactive, always energetic, always all over the place. And then when I was diagnosed and started treatment, it kind of reversed. When puberty hit, it reversed. It slowed down. And then I had to deal with, not having energy, trouble focusing in class, all kinds of different things. So, President Bush and people like Rod Stewart are some of the men that are dealing with this problem. It's 7 times more likely that a woman will suffer from a thyroid disorder than a man, but it's still so prevalent in the United States. And testing, as far as testing goes, there are 3 main tests to determine if you have a dysfunction in the thyroid. It's a TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone, T3 and T4. Your T3 is your active form of hormone in your body. And if those are off, then what they would do is determine if you were overactive or underactive and start some course of treatment after that. Diet can play a major role with helping with thyroid disease. You want to try to incorporate foods like shellfish that are high in iodine. Foods like shrimp, shellfish, different things like that. Kelp is very good. Seaweed replacement, like natural, medications, are very good also. And there's also some foods that can help to suppress the thyroid, and they need to be avoided. Soy is really bad for someone who has hypothyroid. It will suppress even more what you already have or having a problem with. Broccoli, kale, different green leafy vegetables also can suppress the thyroid. We talked about the different reasons why people can develop thyroid problems from deficiencies. Also included deficiencies in vitamin A, magnesium, and iron, as well as iodine can be reasons for developing thyroid problems. In addition with genetics, and also stress can cause imbalances in the thyroid because it is a hormone, it secretes a hormone, and anytime you have stress, it can throw everything out of balance in your body. It's just very important that people who start to exhibit symptoms, whether you're having symptoms of hyper or hypo, that you go into the doctor